First carry for the Memphis man, Antonio Gibson.
And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
Here's a give to Gibson.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that one or two guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible. So I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, it's Stewart. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback because he went into it. He saw the numbers we saw. He watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be. But early in this one, advantage defense.
After the turnover, it's Tua. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Myles Jack working free that time to take him down.
Okay, partner, a couple points of interest right here, all right? Offensively, we see that they came out throwing the football, but maybe more importantly, the blitz that came defensively, they got right after him.
And you were telling me pregame before we came on air, you think this is something we could see a lot.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because this is a unit that wants to play the game on their terms.
2nd and 20. Another try after the first down sack. Tua. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Had to get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run. And just lost track, and it cost him.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Tua going to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. And whistle blown. A timeout here is taken, and it's taken by the kicking team.
They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now the Texans are going to call on the field goal unit. This from 54 yards away. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Charles, 54 yards. I'm surprised that came up short.
I would agree with that one because normally, if he misses, it's accuracy, not length, because he has plenty of leg for that. But maybe it's like I hit my golf shot, maybe it's like my wedge. When you chili dip and you hit the ground ahead of it, sometimes that'll shorten your distance as well.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Stewart to throw it.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
Play action. Stewart. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
Shotgun handoff to Gibson.
He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Stewart sets to throw. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
They'll run with Gibson.
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1.
They'll go. It's Gibson.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
I love those plays. 4th and 1. That's who wants it more, this time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips, gain leverage, and move the other side backwards? We saw it there for the offense getting it done.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Throwing now, Stewart. Throw right side, taken in by Gibson.
And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. First and goal from just inside the 5. Gibson.
And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so. One of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you can darn near lay down near the end zone.
And he fights his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson
his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. In the midst of, well, let's just say a not-so-rosy losing streak. They've got the open week, though, coming up next weekend, so you have to figure this to be a game that they dearly love to have.
Oh, indeed. They have to have this one because that's something positive to take with you when you go away for a few days, and it actually releases your mind. If they lose this one, that mind stays cluttered the entire time they're away, and they've got to scramble to get back in sync when they start playing again.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Tua.
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off right around the 43. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw, or maybe the ball's tipped, or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Stewart. Got a man. It's Gibson, complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Now Stewart on 1st and 10. And he's got his man on the out route. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Now Stewart, 2nd down, and he'll complete this to Gibson. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year.
And Washington is able to stretch their lead.
Extra point right down the middle, and that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Taken in at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan? Or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game? This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying. Launches deep. A jump ball, and this is caught. A huge play there for Houston.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get
touchdown, Texans. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Texans draw a bit closer. The extra point splits the uprights, and that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, here's Cordell Stewart. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed.
Wow. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts.
As the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10.
A handoff for Gibson.
This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Going to go play action. Here's Stewart.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
A great read, and it's picked off.
And the Texans are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
And we'll see how aggressive they want to be in these final stages before the half.
On first down, Wheatley. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. Tua, the final shot before half. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
So we have come upon halftime, and it's the visiting group from Washington who are out on top.
As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
So Washington in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll battle at the line and intercepted. Picked off here, the 32. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the third quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing, they're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Caught on the slant. Touchdown. Curtis Samuel, his 3rd touchdown now on the year.
And Washington able to capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6.
Partner, they had a good lead as they went in at the half, and they came out here in the second half and found a way to extend it. I love their consistency. Don't worry about what they said at halftime. This seemed like a team that was ready to play 60 minutes, and while this game is far from over, I love their approach.
Point after, right down the middle, and it's now 21-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
Now a throw here to his running back.
And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here.
He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. 76 yards. And the Texans have cut it to within a score. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown.
So the extra point good, and the roughing call going to move the ball out to the 50 for the kickoff.
And I think this is a good chance to pin them deep if you can land the kickoff inside the 5-yard line or so. Gain some field position for your defense.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Here's Gibson to start the drive.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
The throw over the middle, taken in.
And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
They will throw on 1st down with Stewart. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively. And it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, so much for getting separation. No chance there. Locked down tight. forcing the incompletion on that attempt.
Second down, here's Stewart. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
On first down, Stewart.
And that'll be complete to the running back, Gibson.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Again, he'll drop to throw.
They'll set up the screen for Gibson.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play, and that'll force upon them a 3rd and 14. Off play action, Stewart. Got his target, Samuel. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 29-yard line.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on third down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
So much about defending the pass is being able to be right there at the moment the ball gets to the receiver, and he was right in his hip pocket, helping force that incompletion.
Off the play fake, Stewart.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far.
Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
Let's go, defense. Here we go.
Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Over the middle, complete. It's Sherman. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, but he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the first down.
Throw left side is complete on the diving effort. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
Maximum effort, partner. Minimal gain.
Yeah, minimal gain. Looked good, though.
Here's 2nd and 9.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield.
Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked up by Richie Grant.
And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And 3 interceptions in this game, and I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Stewart on first down. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And all this Texans defense, they're all charged up now. They stopped them behind the line for the second straight play.
Washington on third down.
They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far.
Here it's 3rd and 2.
Complete. Hunter Henry with a grab. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 45-yard line.
Here's a throw dropped off to his fullback.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
On 2nd down, a run with Gibson.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
On 1st down, right back to Gibson.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Second and 12.
Off play action. Stewart. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
That's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Off the play fake. Stewart completes it to Samuel. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 17-yard line.
Now that's a big pickup right there, and so often we focus on how the quarterback's faking on play action. How about everyone being in on the deal and picking it up?
Second, third levels, you could see them trying to recover. They bit. Worked out offensively. They'll run on first down. Gibson. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
60 yards for him on the ground now on that, his 20th carry of the ball game. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back.
They've got it 1st and goal as they search for what could be a game-sealing touchdown. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
They'll try to run with Gibson. And he fights his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson
taking it in from a yard out.
And Washington going to add on to their lead.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead now up to 14. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Tua. He's going to let it fly. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
Got to be wary of throwing an interception here because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep. That's why they're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Yeah, late in the fourth quarter here, trying to preserve the lead. So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Tua to throw. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Now Tua. Under pressure, and they got to him again. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
And twice in a row, the quarterback goes down. This offense needs 2 scores, not giving up 2 sacks.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. They'll run. It's Gibson. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? You just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off with great anticipation. And the Texans are right back in this football game. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because...
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off near the 29, and he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. So it's Washington getting the victory here. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
No, without question. When you force 4 turnovers... you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward,